Hello everyone, Chris here, and on my next segment of low quality tech videos that are just an excuse for me to do the work I already need to do while screen sharing, I'm going to show you how to set up Microsoft Intune for the first time. Now, this is me actually doing this for the first time because I haven't done this before, but I am going to make an Intune review video, but wanted to give you all a chance to see what it's like for an experienced Mac admin, Jamf admin, MDM admin, setting up a new MDM platform for the first time, especially one like Microsoft Intune that's a little more complicated potentially than some of the other platforms. I'm not going to be doing a lot in this video. I only got like 30 minutes for my next meeting, but main things I want to do is create a push certificate, set up Apple Business Manager integration, create a pre-stage enrollment or whatever the Intune equivalent is, and then actually enroll a Mac using DEP. And I've got one right here, so we'll see if I can get that done by the end of this video. Probably won't show that actual enrollment, but that's just the goal for this video. So I'm sharing my widescreen monitor right now because I want you to be able to see two windows. We'll see how easy that is for you to see on your screen, but if you have a widescreen monitor, you might want to make it full screen on it. I have a third screen that I'm just going to be using for anything I don't want to show because I don't want to actually do any editing with this video, but I digress. Let's get into it. So on the left side here, I have my instructions for setting up Intune enrollment. So I'm going to kind of scroll through these. A lot of stuff here is like, I'm not going to be doing BYOD. Oh, company-owned devices. This is what I want to do. So I'm going to click on, actually want to go back, open this in a new window, automatically enroll Macs using Apple Business Manager. That's what I want to do. All right, so the first thing it says I need to do is create the enrollment program token. So I'm going to follow the instructions. We're going to go to devices. Wants me to go to enrollment, which I have right here. Automated enrollment, right? Oh, sorry. Go back. We're going to go to enrollment. I need to go to Apple, not Windows. Apple MDM push notification certificate. That's the first thing on my list. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. I'm going to click agree. I'm going to download my CSR, which is right there. I'm then going to create my MDM push certificate. This will probably just link me to my portal. It's going to ask me for an Apple ID, and I know it actually wants the one that's associated with the push certificate. So instead of using my Apple Business Manager one, I'm going to use this one, since that's where I have all my push certificates. And of course, this password is not working. No, it is. Now I just need to get the code. Which we'll enter here. Of course, I entered the incorrect code. Let's see if this one works. Okay, I got a bunch of these set up. I'm going to go to create certificate to create a new one. Choose my file. All right, and now I can download this. All right, so I can go back to the list, mark off my first thing. So the next thing I want to do is set up Apple Business Manager. And this is where, okay, select Apple, bulk enrollment methods. It's saying enrollment program tokens. Okay, so this is it. But for some reason it's grayed out. So I'm wondering if I need to refresh the screen or something. So let's go enrollment, Apple. And there we go. Yeah. So I needed to do this first, and now it will allow me to do these things. Enrollment program tokens is what I want. Do I need to add a token? Gotta agree each time. That's kind of annoying. Okay. Oh, this Apple ID is going to be different. This isn't a great tutorial video, but you know, you just get to see rawly how I work, which I guess is the point of this, right? Okay, selecting a file here. So I have, of course, it's going to make me log in again. Welcome to the hour of Chris logging in to everything 5 times, because the timeout is 10 seconds. Yeah, I logged in less than 10 minutes ago. Okay, so we're going to preferences. I'm going to add a new MDM server. We are going to call this Intune. I need to upload a public key. That's right. I was thinking that I needed to upload something. So I'm kind of download your public key. There you go. That's there. We need to upload the public key. And now I'll be able to download my MDM server token and put it back here. All right. 11 minutes in, and we are 2 items down. Assign devices to MDM server. Well, okay, yep. I gotta do that in Apple Business Manager. So let's go to my devices. And I'm trying to remember, that's part of those serial numbers. We got Intune here. All right. So that's assigned to the server. Save Apple ID. Upload server token to finish. Okay. Create an Apple enrollment profile. All right, here's the next step. Devices, enrollment. Click the Apple tab. Wait, I already did this. I'm confused by this. So this is definitely not the same thing I'm looking at. So I might have to do a little bit of searching for this. Manage unit. I think this is it. Yeah. So this looks like where I need to be. What? There's not a Mac OS one? Okay. Well. Yeah, well, it says Mac OS. All right, we're going to go to Mac OS here. Sometimes when you go to these devices, it'll say what to do, and it doesn't, unless that dialog I just went to showed me. Okay. Compliance policies, configuration. All right, let's go to macOS and it's back here. Yeah, well, I already set up my push certificate. It's active, everything's good. Can I learn more? Okay. I want Apple Configurator. I already have this set up too, and that's active. Nope, they're just doing enrollment program tokens. Great, okay. Well, here's where we're hitting our first snafu, because this documentation I'm looking at is not up to date. So I'm going to try to see if I'm missing something or if I'm using the wrong documentation. How to, guys. Set up macOS enrollment. Get started with Mac enrollment. Whatever, we'll use direct enrollment. Create an enrollment profile, perfect. Devices, enrollment, Apple tab. I'm just gonna try the Apple Configurator thing, even though this should not be the way to set up enrollment. Profiles, create, name, sure, I'll use, okay, I'll roll without user infinity just to make this simpler. We're going to create this. All right. I don't think that did anything. macOS, okay, this is called macOS enrollment, right? I am not crazy. That's macOS enrollment. I click enrollment types. I go to add profile. It says iOS/iPadOS. I'm just going to do this. Because account-driven user enrollment. What is happening here? All right, I'm just going to give up on using the documentation here and just try to search. Is there a way to search? Devices, all services, pre-stage. Nope, can't set that up. Just go to devices, macOS enrollment, enrollment program tokens. Now there should be a device here. This device should be showing up in here. Last successful sync was at 2:11. Okay. Well, then can't sync. I can't assign the profile. Oh, there we go. I got it, guys. Look at that. I'm not even sure where I went. But it might have been in the instructions, and maybe I was just reading too quick. But macOS enrollment. Management settings, user affinity. We're going to do without affinity for now. Just because I'll test what that's like later, but I'm kind of interested in what that's like. Await final configuration. We're going to say no for now. Locked enrollment, yes. So that just means user cannot remove the profile. We're going to do that. Setup assistant steps. We're going to hide everything because I want this to be as quickly as possible. Department. Department name is required. Oh, yeah. So we'll say IT. Department phone. It's going to be, we'll just use the one from our website because I don't want to give away my personal phone number, but anyone can call this one. So we'll add that. If you create a local account, okay, let me see this. No, that doesn't change that. We'll just learn more about local account management. So I'm curious what this is. Of course, doesn't tell me. So what am I looking at here? I'm just curious if... So what I think this is a backdoor admin account, but it's not very clear. Create a local primary account is set to no. And this is also called preview. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it's going to allow me to create a local account on the computer because it's basically impossible to not do that. Okay. So I'm going to go to create. I only got a couple minutes now, so I'm going to let this sync for a second. And then I'm going to go ahead and set up this computer and see if it enrolls itself. So let me go ahead and do that. Launchpad, Rocket Man. So right now I'm on a second computer that you can't see. But I'm just going to let you know if it at least goes to the screen that allows us to enroll the computer through DEP. I'm sure there's nothing very specific at this point to Intune in this process because when it comes down to it, it basically just works. And of course, I probably didn't wait long enough. All right, so although I made the effort to try to make this whole thing organic so you could see what the entire process was like without any preparation, I did run into a pretty bad snag with this computer not showing up inside of this enrollment program token portal, which is what I needed in order to assign it to something. So when I set up the computer, it wasn't working. And then I had to go to my next meeting. So I did want to show you what ended up working because I was driving me crazy. I assigned it here in Apple Business Manager. Everything was working. I kept pressing refresh. I even clicked sync. None of that seemed to work. But however, once I searched for it here, it showed up on the list. And then even after I went back here, it still showed up on the list. So How did I do it? I ended up manually searching through it for it by serial number. Maybe it would have shown up eventually anyway. I don't know, but at least wanted to give you that piece of advice if you run into this. All right, so as I'm looking through this now, I don't think this is assigned yet to anything. So I'm still kind of sitting here trying to figure out what to do with this. So I'm going to click Assign Profile, and we'll do macOS enrollment. All right, and that seems to be good. So now it's saving the assignments, and I want to make sure it's synced before I set this up again, and I have to go back and wipe this. So I will be refreshing this to make sure the profile is assigned, which it is right now. So I think we're good to go. And when I set this up, this should work, and it should show up in my portal. So I'm actually wiping this computer right now, and we're just going to wait a couple minutes for that to restart and be good to go. By a couple minutes, I mean probably 15 seconds. But I'm going to go ahead and click this off the list because the only last thing I need to do is enroll a Mac computer using DEP, and then we can show you what it looks like inside of the Intune portal, just to confirm that everything worked. All right, my computer is set up now. I'm going to select the language and region and then connect to Wi-Fi. And hopefully, I'm going to see, now that I'm connecting, the screen that pops up and says your computer's ready to be registered by this organization. Okay, I'm on the data and privacy screen, migration assistant, and it did not work. So we are going to wipe this and retry yet again. Because I think there might have been something with the internet which was a problem. But so far, I am not super impressed by Intune. But of course, this is just the initial setup. All right, I am back again. Had to wipe that computer again because it did not hit the device enrollment screen that it's supposed to hit. So I'm just going to double check everything. Let me select the language and region on this computer first because I don't want it to start yelling at me. Here it says the profile is assigned. I'm going to go ahead and click this sync button, and maybe that will help push things through. I'm just going to double check in a couple other places just to make sure like everything looks good. It says it has been successfully synced. Still says the profile was assigned on 3/16. Last requested sync was 3/27, but the last successful sync was 3/09. So, okay, well, little inconclusive. I should think that that would be the same, but if I look at this profile, I can look at assigned devices, and I see that this device is in there. It does say not contacted. I'm not sure what that means. Let me go ahead and add a device just to make sure that we add this device. Okay, I mean, not available, which makes sense because it is already assigned. Let me go back to profiles, go to devices. Last successful sync was still 3/09, but whatever. I'm going to try to set up this device because theoretically this should work. If it doesn't work this time, I'm just going to wait for tomorrow. So I'm connecting to my Wi-Fi right now. We're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. I'm getting a data and privacy screen, which I don't think I'm supposed to be getting. And I'm not. It goes to the migration assistant and it's supposed to be skipping all that. So I'm giving up on this for now. I don't know why this isn't working. I will check back tomorrow and see if I can get this to somehow sync and actually enroll through the DEP portal. One last thing I'll try, just because why not? You'll see troubleshooting in action. I'm just going to try doing the sudo profiles renew -type enrollment command, and I'm going to see if that kicks this off. Because if it does, I still don't understand what's happening here, but we at least know that something's pinging that server. If not, we can be pretty certain that whatever backend logic Intune is supposed to be doing right now to make this sync happen, to basically flag it in Apple's portal as saying, hey, this device is assigned to this server, we need to enroll it, it's not happening for some reason. So, and my guess is that they just haven't, it just takes a little bit more time. So, I've done this in Workspace 1, I've done this in Jamf, I've done it in Kanji, I've done it in Jamf now, I've done it in, that might be the list of servers. But, each one's a little different. Jamf takes a little bit of time to do it, but it doesn't take that much time. It's usually like 1 to 2 minutes. But once it says the profile is assigned, it's good to go. In Workspace 1, it doesn't, I think it syncs like once a day. However, you can force it to sync, and when you force it to sync, it's pretty much instantaneous. And when it says the profile is assigned, it works. Intune, working a little bit differently. But let me try the sudo profiles renew -type enrollment command. Testing that right now. I spelled mistyped renew. And that did nothing. So I am certain this is not currently assigned, even though it says assigned. So I'm going to check back tomorrow, but I'm still going to post this video as a raw, rough cut of just like what it's like to troubleshoot and try something new like this for the first time. Some of the pitfalls and challenges you come across. For the most part, although the documentation wasn't perfect and things weren't super intuitive, we did get most of our stuff done. We ran into really a problem that I don't think has to do with the lack of knowledge of this platform and just really has to do with some actual issues with the back end of this platform. So, this is a little bit differently than I want these videos to be, because this is going to require a little bit of editing on my part to kind of take out some of the dead air and some of the parts where I can't stop the video and restart it and stuff like that. But for the most part, these videos are going to look like this, where I'll just share my screen, show what I know, and try not to do too much editing, so you can kind of see a raw, uncut version of what it's like for me to work through something. So thank you so much for joining, and I'll catch you next time.